Welcome, Jims and Joes and Hussies and Hoes, to the NIT podcast. It's your boy, Sir Corleone, here with a couple of my friends on this Sunday. And introduce yourself, friends.
Gang, it's your boy Black. I'm back. How y'all doing, everybody?
Hey
It's
man, it's
Duff.
K Rock, the Stunner, the Shiner, back for another one. Let's get it.
Duff man, you already know. Ready to pod.
So, everybody sound like a little down compared to how we usually are, but that's because we do want to get into some serious stuff that's happened over the week. Um, Kind of just been like all over the place in the news. First thing that we want to do though is pay our respects to Takeoff of the Migos, who tragically passed away at 28 this past week. Man, um, real big part of my life. I was a very big Migo fan from like what
Mm-hmm.
15. You know what I'm saying? And so just respect to him. We're not gonna get into speculation of how he died, why he died. We're not about to bring up the whole holistic violence and hip hop argument. No, we're just here to pay our respects. Not here to speculate or investigate or anything like that. So, yeah, rest in peace to Takeoff. Starting off.
Yeah, yeah, man. Rest in peace to that boy Takeoff, man. In my opinion, I think he was probably one of the best Migos. Well,
Exactly.
I
I
think
think
it
it was
was.
all of our
I,
favorites for the most part.
that
Facts.
boy was a rapper, man. He was a rapper, and just a one of them cool souls. You feel me? Like
Right.
one of them niggas that you know like really ain't get into nothing. You feel me? Just a cool nigga for real.
Facts. Like I
And rest
didn't.
in peace, bro.
It was crazy. Like the day before, I was just watching the Drink Champs interview, and he was like expressive because he was normally the quiet one. And he was
Yeah.
just like expressive, and he just felt like it was good energy. So sad to see that happen.
And he was talking about how, he was always been the quiet, humble one, but he's gonna be more, or he was planning on being more, social and, in niggas' faces about, his career and how good he is at his craft, which, again, he was my favorite member of the Migos, how he rapped and just, of course, I feel like I related to him as far as his demeanor outside of rap is just normally like a chill, cool guy who's never, trying to, be in niggas' faces that much and talk too much shit. It's just the overall good guy, good soul, um, great artist, and you know, I hate to say it again, but we lost another one too soon in his 20s, bro. 20s.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, RP Takeoff, real legend.
I hope this helps squash whatever disputes was going on between Quavo and Offset. They were actually
facts.
family, so
Hmm.
hope that they could put whatever shit aside and come together and support each other. Yeah,
And I know, like, I've been in, well, not this similar situation, but situations where something bad had to happen for me to reconcile with somebody. And I know this is like the worst way for that to transpire, and it's probably going to be like, between the two of them now, it's like, damn, we were arguing over something so dumb,
yeah,
So
and we
dumb.
didn't take the
Wow.
time to, like, uh, get back together while all three of us were here, to really fellowship and realize how much we need each other type shit. So
facts.
it just sucks that
They were
it
rap
had
rock
to come to
stars, you know
this.
what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right.
they completely changed sound.
The
Um,
culture, for real.
they really the culture.
Man, college 2016 was they made my college 2016 a movie. I can't
You
lie
just
to
had
Bad
to
you,
and
be
Real
dog.
bougie.
there.
shit.
You just had
Bad
to
and
be there.
Bougie
They
set
put
the
so many
tone for
people
how
on. They
2016 was.
fucking
T-shirt.
they laid the foundation for fucking QC. You know what I'm saying? So
Man, what?
Yep,
yeah,
Man, what
yep.
is right? Those guys were legends, really.
facts. And just last thing on this, um, taking videos of somebody passing is fucking disgusting,
Oh,
my nigga.
It's
disgusting, bro.
It's
disgusting.
disgusting.
Don't
For
like
taking
don't.
videos, put it on, bro. Like So many
Like,
people
what
tried
you
to
doing
just
that
send me
for?
the tweet, and I'm not about to watch that, bro. This fucking disgusting. And so like,
Yeah.
y'all deserve to be put under the jail for that. Like that's horrible, my nigga. Try to help them. The first thing you do
Exactly.
is like, no, that shouldn't be your
Record.
first response to record it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
nah, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Someone will be able to look at their family members' final moments, grief that was caused from it. I mean, that will be here forever. So I think if something that's going to be here forever, then you have to realize whether or not it's worth recording and the impact
Right.
that will make. So we need to really
Eh,
cut that out, especially with African Americans being gunned down. Like I just feel like it's too common for us to just use that as a way to get clout for being the person to post their death video.
exactly.
And
And I
it's like,
don't like.
my nigga, like, spoiler alert, nobody's gonna care that you posted the
You
video.
did it.
They're not gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh shit, this video happened. Oh,
Yeah.
let me go see what other content he has. No, nobody's gonna care. They're
Yeah,
just gonna worry about the video. So you're not gonna get your clout that you wanted anyway.
It's just sick, man.
Right. And like you really took time to record the video one while all that shit was happening. Like one, that's just a level of, I don't know if this is a word, but desensitization that you have to have for you to even feel comfortable doing that in that moment and not trying to actually help the person or get yourself to, protection is ridiculous to me. And you sat there and posted it after you recorded it, like, hey, this is something that's post worthy. I'm gonna sit here and upload this to the internet. For what? You know that you didn't do it out of the goodness of your heart, because there's nothing good about that moment.
Yeah,
So you doing that just for clout and likes, and like Josh said, nobody's gonna give a fuck about who the fuck posted that video. Like, not even in years, nigga won't give a fuck the next day who the fuck posted that. Nobody's
cause
looking at that
the
video and said,
video just been
oh,
circled around. So many people didn't post it, reposted. Like it don't matter
exactly.
who's
Nobody's gonna be
doing
like,
it.
Yeah.
oh, bumfuck from Iowa posted this video. Like nobody gives a fuck, and I'm not taking
yeah,
shots at Iowa, but nobody gives a fuck who the fuck posted that video, bro. Like you just did that shit for clout, and that's just disgusting. And I feel like as a people today, we're just becoming a lot more desensitized to horrific shit that we're seeing, and it's just sad and just sickening that we have to,
Yeah,
sit up here and talk about why the fuck are you posting that? Like what?
yeah. Um, yeah. So rest in peace, Takeoff. But shit. Speaking of posting, we had another controversy that came from posting over the
Yeah.
past week. Man,
Oh boy.
the internet, man, right?
Yeah. Made up
So
some.
NBA star Kyrie Irving posted a link to a video that was on Amazon. Um, it was to a film based off a book called uh, Hebrew to Negro, right? And the crux of the film is about explaining how African Americans are the true children of Israel, part of the original 12 tribes, and that the European Jews are, not. They're essentially Zionists. They're using their, that they have developed. Um, I don't want to say like a culture, but they essentially run everything and are part of systematic oppression of black people, the true people of Israel, right? And while in the movie, um, the movie, like I said, it was about black people being the true people of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Which is a belief system. I know people that are Hebrew Israelites. I've actually spoken to some of them just to get more information about it, and things like that. And hopefully we'll bring you some content with them as well. Um, but in the film itself, even they said that some of the stuff in the film did have misinformation, disinformation, and some things that could be considered anti-Semitic. Right now, Kyrie Irving just posted a link to the film. they kept trying to put the label on him that he was anti-Semitic. He said he wasn't. He said that there are things in the film that he disagreed with, things that he agreed with in there, which is typically the response I got from people who've actually watched the film, right? Um, and so I haven't seen the film, but I have seen clips and things like that from both sides. And I think that the NBA, they were really honestly the NBA, the media, they was really on Kyrie's ass about it, and I'm just keeping a book with you. They was metaphorically trying to lynch this nigga, or they're trying to make an example out of Kyrie Irving, because every day they ask him, hey, uh, it was one specific stance. He was just like, I don't have hate for anybody. Um, I don't have faith for anybody. I don't have any poor beliefs. He said he take responsibility for what he done, but he was like, they just wanted him to say, "I'm sorry." They want him to say the words, "I'm sorry." Why is that part so important? He was like, I didn't make the documentary. He said, I didn't endorse anything. I just posted a link so people can get more information. All right, but they kept saying, he said, I have love for anybody. I don't have hate for anybody. I'm accepting for anybody. And then like immediately following that, reporter asked the question, Kyrie, do you have anti-Semitic beliefs? Like my nigga, he just told you. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's like shit like that, bro. They trying to like try to make him buck. And then so they was like, he said, I can't be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. Meaning the beliefs of can't be anti-Jewish if you're Jewish, right?
Right.
Right, which is the belief that black people, true people of Israel, and are Hebrews, right? But everybody wants to make a big stink about that. Oh, Kyrie, Kyrie, he got fined. What? He got suspended, right? After he didn't come out and quote unquote apologize, because even Adam Silver said, "Oh, I wish Kyrie would just apologize." And fucking ESPN, all them fucking people on there, like Stephen A. made me mad, dog. First thing he said was like he that. I can't really articulate the information as well because like my thoughts is kind of like all over the place, but essentially it was just like, man, uh, what they did was, I swear they got every black analyst to talk about this situation. I ain't seen one Jewish analyst, one Jewish reporter to give their thoughts and opinions about Kyrie. I've only seen the black people give their thoughts and opinion about Kyrie, and they all saying the same thing. Oh, Kyrie was wrong. Oh, Stephen A. said Kyrie's giving a master class on how to lose money. Maybe Stephen A. Some things are more important than money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I agree with the sentiment of it. I'm not saying that I agree with everything that Kyrie Irving does or says. But the fact that they're literally just trying to cut his water off because they it was like, okay, we're gonna fine you $500,000, right? All right, boom, that's not enough. You still ain't saying I'm sorry, bet we're gonna suspend you for 5 games. All right, all right. He came out with an apology later on that day, but in his interview, he was like, keep that same energy whenever it's anti something else. Basically saying whenever shit's anti-black, you ain't never see this whenever it happened to a black person. You ain't never see the NBA go this hard for racism and shit like that. It took the players to stand up for Donald Sterling and shit like that. I mean, to stand up against Donald Sterling and shit like that. Whenever he was saying his shit, fucking the Suns owner, you barely heard about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And niggas was like that was going on for years, but whenever it's anti this group, look at how they do. Right? And then they basically essentially gave Kyrie a whole fucking checklist of like, oh, you gotta go meet with these rabbis and leaders, and then you gotta go meet with the owner to show that you understand. You gotta take anti-Semitic training and fucking sensitivity training and shit like that. And I'm like, look, bro, I'm not saying that you should be. I'm not trying to make this a divisive thing, but it's just like, damn, like you see what they're trying to do, like whenever you can't. I have never seen response like this to anti-blackness at all. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking frustrating that for something that he didn't even say anything. In fact, it's the lack. He didn't say anything. That's what they mad about. They mad that he not going up there and saying I apologize. He was like, I didn't make the documentary. I didn't do anything wrong, right?
Right.
But guess what? They want him to buckle. They want him to break. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take your money. We're gonna put you in this. Every question they ask him, I have not seen them ask Kyrie Irving nothing about basketball at all. And the first thing they try to say is that he's anti-Semitic. And then they really crashing down on fucking everybody over there, especially ESPN. I don't think I'm about to get into Jalen Rose thing, but they got him right. They got him right together in a fucking commercial break. I'm rambling. Y'all jump in. I'm sorry because I'm kind of all over the place. But yeah, y'all go ahead and jump in.
I personally just think, first of all, posting a link isn't saying things like you can't say that someone's anti-Semitic for posting a link because he didn't make any commentary on said link. He could, for all we know, posted the link to get people talking against it, against those beliefs. We don't know what he posted a link for. I think people just want to use the narrative that Kyrie is kooky, that Kyrie is divisive, that Kyrie believes in strange things as a way to just demonize him. And the strategic way in which they created his punishment kind of seems disingenuous to the entire cause. I mean, it's one thing to like make him apologize, but it's another thing to first cut him off from his money, cut him off from his playtime, and also make him act like a fucking child or act like someone who got into a major car crash drunk driving by making him do sensitivity training and meet up with people and stuff. It just seems like a punishment more so than them trying to represent the league in a certain kind of way. So I just think that it's not proportionate to what he said. And also, I think you're right in the sense that Kyrie is getting lynched. I mean, we see it all the time. All these black men get lynched when they step out of line just a little bit. It shows how little power we have in media, even if we have a lot of money, because it shows that that shit can go away really, 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 really fast. And maybe we should stick to our guns a little bit more. If our money isn't helping us, if our money isn't creating resources for us, then how about we actually come up with more of a belief system, come up with more of a structure to protect each other instead of allowing these higher powers to just shit on us anytime we don't want to do thy bidding. Sorry, I'm a little pissed off.
Yeah, I think we're all upset about it. But go ahead, Blake.
I was gonna say one of the most ironic parts about this whole thing is, I think they say that Kyrie promoted and spread these ideas, but honestly speaking, I feel as though this whole whirlwind or storm that was created almost promoted the shit even more. You know what I'm saying? Like if niggas didn't go as crazy as they were to, try to prove that Kyrie is anti-Semitic or however the hell, niggas were trying to go about it. I've probably heard like 5 people in different group messages say, "Yeah, I'm ready to check this shit out now. I gotta see how." Like niggas didn't even know about this shit, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And it probably wasn't them had it not have been an idea and shit. If
It
that's
had
the
like
case,
100 likes and like 100 retweets. It had a pretty low number of engagement because it's like motherfuckers just not just got to pick on a link, click on a link because Kyrie Irving said it. It had no caption. It was just a link, right? And like it
So
had a low
it
level of
100%
engagement.
stamped had no caption.
It was just fucking. It was just a link. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it's just like they created the engagement, and like that's what some of my people, well, some of like the guys I connected with, they was talking about. They was just like, man, they wanted to nip that shit in the bud right then and there because if it was nothing, they would have left it at nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the whole documentary is there. Again, I haven't watched the documentary, but Kyrie isn't the first black person to speak out against the Jewish community. Kyrie isn't the first black person to speak out against how black people are, the true people of Israel, right? Like I said, there's a whole belief system. Fucking Ice Cube used to say it all the time whenever he used to talk about Jerry Hiller. You know what I'm saying? They actually had a Ice Cube. I saw it this morning. Actually, it was a picture of it what looked like a Monopoly table, and the legs of the table were black men, and the players at the table were Jewish men, right? And so it was like this is something that's been going on for before, right? And I just think that for this to happen around the same time as, like Kyrie lost his Nike deal or he got like suspended or some shit like that. He lost a shoe.
Suspended, yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst
Like,
part.
like, 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 bro, they're really trying to say that we're gonna cut your water off over this, bro. And like, I, I haven't seen anybody else, you know what I'm saying, get this shit. You know what I'm saying? They was just like, oh, well, what if he was anti-vax? Or like the anti-vax people, they have a problem with that. And I hate to use because Kyrie his shit is so fresh and this so directly this, but I hate to use Kanye for an example because a lot of shit I think Kanye's a jackass. All right, but I don't like what he's doing to them either. I don't like what they did to him either, or what they're doing to him. Right, and I'm not one of the whole they're just trying to take free speech away because free speech was never free. Right, it just never was. But whenever you talk about this particular group of people, it is met with something. And Kanye was trying to say that. It is met with, we gonna cut your shit off. Right? When Kanye was saying all that shit about black people, nothing. Right? When Kanye was wearing the MAGA hat, nothing. Kanye said slavery was a fucking choice. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. He didn't lose a dime. White Lives Matter up there with Candace Owens at Fashion Week, nothing. He didn't lose a dime. Tweeted about Jewish people. This nigga is losing every source of fucking income.
Nigga became a multi-millionaire from a billionaire overnight.
Right.
Like, let that sink in, bro.
But I think more than anything, it just speaks to the lack of power that we have in this.
It
Like
does.
I think because I think the reason to that, you know what I'm saying, like nothing happened because they don't care. It doesn't affect them. But it's literally who he's talking about is literally them. You know what I'm saying? So like when he says something about them, of course they're going to shut shit down because that's their shit. Like, yeah, you're benefiting from it, but don't forget, like the powers that be is them niggas. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? And at any time, we'll remind you, like, nigga, this you're eating because of us.
They got a clip. They got a clip, and I'm gonna send y'all in the chat. It's this brother who be speaking about just essentially, you know, things to betterment our community and shit like that. And he was just like, in the black community, we have a problem. We think that money is what's gonna get us there, and it's
Right.
not. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you nothing but a rich slave, right? Like, because
Ownership.
they would show you
Exactly.
there's a time that the minute that you stop being humble to them, that you grateful to you still got to be grateful to be here. They're gonna show you that you ain't nothing but a slave. You just got more. They said that you just got more masters than me, right? And they just all in your bank account. Because the minute that you step out of line, they're going to show you. And again, we're not anti-Semitic. We're not here to say all Jewish people are evil and shit like that. But it's pretty obvious that, hey, black people, we need to stop self-deprecating each other publicly. Even if you don't agree with what Kyrie did, even if you did that, every fucking ESPN got every black analyst on the fucking roster to condemn Kyrie.
Now look, I was
Fucking Chris
actually
Broussard.
They happily did it.
They
That
happily
shit
did
shocked
it.
the
They
that shit shocked the
happily
fuck out of me.
did it.
That's what
It,
made me
it didn't
mad.
shock
I'm
me
like, how are
because
you gonna
Stephen
talk
A.
about?
Smith, ooh.
let me ask you guys this because this is actually something I wanted to touch on. It's like, and it goes back to what I was just saying about not owning and being the benefactor from. It's like I really can't say that shit is shocking, and also you would like to say like in that position, you want to do better. You would be the one to stand up or whatever, but like you know they got LeBron to make a statement denouncing Kyrie, or he made a statement. However, it came out. Was that fucking. I can't say that it was planned because I don't fucking know. But if I was Adam Silver, I would definitely have LeBron James speak
Yeah.
out on that shit. The most influential player in basketball.
But
Um,
that
but let
leads
me
to
finish.
the
Let me finish.
community.
Let me
Oh, my
finish.
fault, my fault.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is, yes, that's what we need to do. But you know what I'm saying? Like I think we're at a time now where it's like, niggas that have like there's gonna be a lot of niggas that that's really not what they're interested in. You feel me? Like it's not that they're not interested in it, but I think you're put in a position where you have to make a choice. And it's like, say LeBron James doesn't denounce whatever, you feel me, and actually endorses, or just like KD said, like, that's my brother, I love him. That's all he said. Boom, the next day you see KD making a statement. Just want to clarify, you feel me? I am not anti-Semitic in any way, shape, or form. Like like you saying anything got that pressure. Like there's a pressure that is coming towards them. That you seen the exact same thing with Jalen Rose, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as you say something, there's that pressure. And I'm just saying, it's like, you know, it's not necessarily a topic or a question, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? There's a pressure that exists, and I think all them niggas know that. All them ESPN analysts that we're talking about, we're disappointed of. There's a clear pressure that's going on, and it's like,
But
I
here's
think you have to pick as a man, like, is this
I get it.
issue strong enough to you where you want to risk what your family has going on versus what this issue is to you? You know
But
what
it's the
I'm saying?
bigger issue, bro. It's the bigger issue, and that's what
Oh
like
yeah,
I
for
get. That's
sure.
what I'm saying. Like it's the bigger issue, and I feel like that the NBA had a chance, and maybe it's not. Maybe it might not be this, but this is definitely something that I think is gonna spark a lot of people into saying like, bro, like look at how they treating us, bro. And maybe it's not Kyrie and Kanye West to fucking be the ones to be martyrs in this shit. But there has to be a time that we're gonna have that as a community we're gonna have to sacrifice the check. That our prominent people, the people that speak for us, are gonna have to be together. Because every time there's some shit happens, they go get one of us. I remember in fucking football, every time they'll have some racial shit going on, who they'll pull out? Tony Dungy.
Word.
They'll
But
pull
what
out
I'm
Tony
saying is,
Dungy to give a statement
it's
because he's a
it's
respected coach
always
or some
going to
shit
be
like
one.
that. But like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not disagreeing with you, and I get that point. But you have to have a sacrifice.
Of course.
We're gonna
But
have
this
to
is the
have a
thing, bro.
sacrifice as a
You know,
community,
like
and
in the
that's how.
'60s, niggas could afford to do that shit. You
No, they
feel me?
couldn't.
Niggas could afford it.
They was
Yes, they
getting beat the
could.
fuck up. Like wait,
Exactly. But niggas really did not have freedoms. You feel me? Like niggas could not ride the
and
bus. They had
that's
nothing to
how they
lose.
got they. But that's how they
Now
got
niggas
their
have shit to
freedoms.
lose. That's what I'm telling you.
But we
I'm
can.
saying now niggas have shit to lose. Like it's
Niggas could
not
have lost their
it's
They
lives.
had shit
Like
to. They definitely had shit to lose. Muhammad
they
Ali was the
no,
prisoner of
bro.
that
No,
shit,
they.
bro.
I'm not gonna say like
no,
outright.
we
Like
have
no one had
luxuries.
anything
We
to
have
lose.
Yeah,
luxuries
that
to
we
lose
have.
now.
Yeah,
We have luxuries to
yes.
lose now, and that's the problem. That's how they got us. They was like,
Exactly.
okay, but that's how they got us. They was like,
But
we have
what's
to
more important,
sacrifice those
luxury?
luxuries.
Luxuries or
Yes, y'all
lives?
are
And
saying that, but what I'm telling you is that there's always gonna be those niggas that value what they have going on
Yes.
what we're
more than
saying
what
is,
the bigger fight is.
and what
Not
we're
what we.
saying
I'm not
is,
saying anything. I'm just
but like,
presenting a
no,
devil
but like,
advocate.
and that's there, and like we understand that, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and that's what that's how they're going to use that against us. That's how they're always using that against us, and that's why they have the power to whenever somebody speak out about them. Okay, they stick together. Adidas Adidas lost money cutting off Kanye, but you know what? They said that hey, this is it's a flex. It's a flex of power. We are the community, and I'm not even talking about Africans or just all black people in general. I'm talking about black Americans, Negroes. We are the only people without a fucking community or without a community that's banded together to build up power because it's broken off into fucking is broken off into different shit and it gets broken off into fucking luxuries and shit like that and then they build an envy between us because it's like oh shit well I don't have one so as soon as I get some I'm worried about me. It's a selfishness and I feel like that we don't have a sense of community and as long as we don't have a sense of community they can do this to anybody. Kanye was a fucking billionaire. Kanye was a fucking billionaire, so what do you think they can do to you? But you want to know why? Because they know that nobody's gonna stick behind you.
But
They
that's
keep
my
getting
point.
black. They keep getting black people to call us out behind us, At the
Hmm.
very least, my nigga, you ain't gotta fight. You ain't gotta fight for it. But you be like, bro, I'm not talking bad about this man. You're not about to have me go on platform talking bad about this man. They couldn't have me like. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I don't have it yet. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But as of right now, if you was to call me on fucking CNN today and to talk bad about fucking Candace Owens, right, and all the bullshit she be saying, I wouldn't do it, right? Not that I agree with her, but you are not about to have me condemn another black person for something. You know, just have me shit on another black person just to shit on them, and that's what they did to Kyrie. They took every black analyst they had to give their thoughts and opinions on it. And you know what none of it was about? You know what none of them had in common? None of them watched the fucking movie to come up with their own opinion of it. They heard what Adam Silver told them to say. And then they came out with that, condemning this man. And they was like, oh, he's hurting the basketball team. And oh, he's doing this, this, and this. They want you to shut up and dribble. They got us to tell him to go shut up and dribble. They got us to say that. They got LeBron to say that. Like, come on, bro.
Exactly. That's my
My
point.
my
But this,
issue. Hold on, cause
go ahead,
I,
Austin.
yeah, my issue with the whole thing is, Jai, you were talking about like if you were in that position, what you would do. If I was in that position, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Rose did this before with Brittany Griner. But if I was in that position, I would point out how okay, you making a big deal about this Kyrie shit, and okay, fine. But I'm going to say after every fucking topic that we have, oh yeah, so what about Brett Favre? What about the
Brett
what about
Favre
all these
stole
white
welfare. He stole
welfare?
welfare.
Millions, and that shit was a
Welfare is
topic
for
for
poor
two
people.
days.
He stole from poor people.
And poor
He's Brett
people and
Favre
poor. That's not just one group of people. That could be white, black, gray. It doesn't fucking matter.
from the
That's
The
all
poorest
types of people.
poor.
state.
That's
He
from
stole money from the poorest people in the poorest state.
exactly for dumb shit.
A
So
volleyball stadium.
I would try to bring that up because like you guys know that it took what is it? What's that dude? Sterling, whatever the hell his name is. It took him. It took some egregious shit to come out, like horrible shit to come out for them to do something.
And kiss that nigga take. And
But
then the players did something.
exactly, exactly,
It took the players saying that I'm not gonna play. You see how they came
exactly,
together for that?
Yeah.
exactly. So it took all of that for them to do something about this white man. I'm not
Stephen
trying
A
to
is the
divide it
second
into
highest
white
paid
and black
person
shit.
over at ESPN. You think he couldn't say that? You think he couldn't get him, Will Bond, and Jalen Rose to say like, bro, like, nah, we're not just about to shit on this man.
I'm not
You can
trying to
say that you
divide
speak
this
out
shit.
against it. You can say, hey, I speak out against anti-Semitism. I'm not just about to shit on Kyrie. You just leave it like that. And
I
I'm
then
not
just
about to
think
now,
that
side
now,
with
I
now,
another
just
now, now
man.
they're really flexing it because we can't stand together for they don't want us to stand together for anything. They was talking about Ime Udoka, right? They was talking about Ime Udoka, and they was like, "How you about to get another head coaching job?" And it was like, he's made with controversy and all this other shit, bro. He just fucked the girl that he worked with. Simple. They said it was a consensual relationship. He just fucked the girl he worked with. And Jalen Rose said that as much as people are casting aspersions on him, we still haven't learned the name. If it was a consensual relationship, we haven't learned the name or the punishment of the woman that he worked with. He said that they went to commercial. They had a fucking broadcast interruption to come back for him to say that you absolutely shouldn't do this and blah 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 blah. I apologize. They got him right back, and he didn't say nothing wrong. You can fuck with Ime Udoka. You can go put that shit out there. You can publicly besmirch him. Now he's publicly known as somebody who cheated on his wife. Now you bring problems in him and Nia Long home and shit like that, and it's public. It's public across the thing, and that's why he got suspended and shit like that. But we don't know if it was a consensual relationship. We don't know who the other one was. We don't know what her punishment was. But you can't talk about that.
we do know
You
it was a
cannot.
consensual relationship. They just sweep that under the rug. They literally
Exactly.
said it
And
was.
then following that, immediately following the Jalen Rose clip, I saw an article from a Yahoo Sports writer that says that Jalen Rose said that Email Doka's accuser should be publicized. Accuser? Accuser of what?
Accused of what? Consensually dropping them draws?
Like, my nigga, like
Okay.
you see what they try to do, bruh. They don't want us to stick together. Michael Wilbon was on that
Well,
broadcast saying that Email Doka absolutely shouldn't have this job. Why? Cause you get pussy. Like, bro, it's fucking stupid, bro. It's stupid and it's not fair, and it's just like it's frustrating. It's frustrating. There's nothing more frustrating than this feeling of powerlessness, right? There's nothing more frustrating than knowing that you can't do shit, right? Until you figure out how to do shit. Black community, guess what
Yeah,
we're gonna have
man.
to do? We're gonna have to publicly do shit. Even if privately, even if you're on home, you be like, man, this nigga on some bullshit. You know what we gotta stop doing? We gotta stop letting other people divide us publicly. We gotta stop getting on these platforms and fucking saying that this nigga's crazy, this nigga's doing this, and this. Unless it's something that's fucking obviously horrible. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
like
just like a motherfucker speaking his mind, having an opinion, creating a discussion, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't agree, we don't need you there to condemn, because they gonna condemn us enough. We don't need you on Twitter giving your think piece about how you don't fuck with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. Speaking of fucking Twitter, not to get too far off topic, but this is just let you know this is how the world fucking works. You hear more about fucking Kyrie and Kanye. You heard more about Kanye's tweets saying fucking what did he say? I'm about to go DEF CON on the blank community, right? We know the community. I'm about to go DEF CON on that community, right? You heard more about that fucking tweets. Did you know that since Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, nigger, I don't need like Twitch. Don't take that down. I'm black. Nigger. The word Nigger has gone up 500%. 500%. 500%. That's silly. Do you know how fucking much that is? If you take 500% of how much, let's say how many tweets go out on a fucking day, that's billions. That's billions of N words. And you hear nobody talk about that?
You also don't hear people talk about there was also a dude who has a white person who has a podcast. I forgot his name, but he had a podcast and he made a anti-Semitic joke as well about a person. And yes, they are trying to cancel him, but from what I have seen from the whole backlash of it, nobody's going to the lengths of making him do this shit that they're making Kanye and Kyrie and all that shit do. Like they're
It's
trying to
like,
cancel him,
bruh.
yeah, but they're not trying to be like, oh yeah, we're taking your money away. Yeah, you're not gonna be getting any more deals. We're disowning you. Blah 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 blah. Like maybe a couple people said some shit about it, and a group of people are trying to cancel him. Yes, but they're not going to the lengths that they're going to try to, reprimand, cancel, and shame like him, like they're doing black people.
Bro,
So
yeah,
fucking, bro, remember a couple of months ago, fucking Joe Rogan, all them clips about him coming out, nigga said he walked into the room and said it looked like he was Planet of the Apes. Walked in the room so like he looked like it was Planet of the Apes.
seriously.
And what's the
Casual
first,
racist shit all the
and,
time.
and what's the first thing, it was the first thing that you heard said. All them black UFC fighters coming up, Joe doesn't have a racist bone in his body. I'm standing up for
right.
Joe. That's the first
Fucking
thing they'll do.
dancing.
They'll go get a nigga. They'll go get a white person to go support them whenever it's their shit.
And I
But
don't even say go get one. Like sometimes I feel like there's those black people, token black people that will go support
you can't even
dude that
call
they
them
like
tokens
before they'll
anymore
support
because
their
it's like
own
what Black said.
community.
You can't even call them tokens, bro. It's like what Black said, bro. They don't want to get their water cut off.
Yeah.
Bro,
In
this is
essence,
what
it's
I'm
But
that.
they don't
saying.
have
This
they
is
don't
They
this
have
is
to
don't
say
want to
this.
get
anything
their
No,
though.
no,
water cut
They
off.
no.
don't they don't have
Y'all,
to say anything though.
you're saying this like it's black and white, and I really feel it's because we don't have. I think the only way we're gonna be able to do some shit is when niggas have to create their own ecosystem where
We
niggas
tried.
don't have to. I
And
know you have to keep. No, let me finish, cause like this is the thing that we're missing. Like we keep saying like, like niggas shouldn't do this, but like, yo, tell a nigga like, yo, you say this one thing against this nigga that you really don't know, and I'm not trying to say this, you know what I'm saying, like it's a bad thing, but I'm just giving y'all the real, like a lot of like, you know what I'm saying, like yeah, they don't have this personal relationship with this nigga, so it's like they really have to make that decision. Am I willing to cut everything I want off for this nigga that I don't really know just because I'm black? Yes, that's what we want to do in an ideal world. That's not how the world works. Until we have something where we can be like, okay, you can fall back, like
but
don't
that's how
worry
you get
about fuck.
there.
Let me finish. Don't worry about complex. we got revolt. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got a job at complex. You know what I'm saying? Like, you scared to say something like, no, we got revolt. You feel me? Like, that's what niggas need. Like, niggas need fucking like a way to secure. Like, that's what we have to create, a way to 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 create choices, create options,
The
to
only way to
create
get there is
legitimate
by
freedom.
sacrifice. But the only way to get there is by the
That's not how
sacrifice
we
that you
get there.
say.
We
That's
have to.
exactly how you get there because you
No,
have
it's
to
not.
That's how you build something.
No,
You
it's
have to
not, bro.
sacrifice it. You can't. Where they gonna
No,
get?
you have to create. You
You
have to
have to.
create. You
This is how you create. You have to come together. You have to say that okay, I'm willing to work with this black dude startup
no,
instead of go work at fucking this company. Like you can't create shit from scratch.
no, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're saying
What
something
was
different than
creating,
what
in
I'm
your
saying.
opinion, in this case,
What
and
I'm
how's it different
saying
from
is
sacrifice?
when I say create, well, Jai's saying sacrifice, and I guess his sacrifice is different than what I consider sacrifice. What I'm thinking Jai's saying that sacrifice is saying you have to denounce, and yes, that's what
I'm
you
not.
want to do in an ideal world. What I'm saying is, yeah, like when I say create, that's I guess that's what you're saying by sacrifice. Yeah,
Yeah,
you go, you work at the black companies,
that's
you
what I'm
try to,
saying.
yeah, you do things, but that's to me that's not sacrifice. I think
That is a
that's the
sacrifice
ultimate.
because it's the same. It's the same thing with the we saying the same thing, but it's the same thing. It's just kind of like if you get a bigger check here, you have to say that okay, I'm willing to take this smaller check here to build for the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Sacrifice because if complex the say complex and revolt not even black owned for real, Viacom on
Yeah,
all
I
that
know.
shit. But
Honestly.
let's use a complex and revolt example. Say revolt is coming off the ground, right? Let's say it's not Diddy, but let's say some random nigga named Sean Combs coming up with revolt. But complex is already established. Niggas know complex. Niggas follow the YouTube. Niggas do the sneaker shop and shit like that, right? You can go do your music blog. You can go post it at complex. Complex offering you fucking 130k, right? That's your salary at Complex. This dude is saying that, hey, I can only pay you month by month based on like subscriptions that we get, but it's all black on. You know what I'm saying? We'll get our black perspective and shit like that. Just like you said, the niggas at ESPN not willing to go on that branch for Kyrie. Why is that nigga willing to go on that branch for fucking Sean Combs, right? And until we have that mentality of it's just like, okay, we need to build this up as a community. We're always it's always gonna be like how it is now. It's always gonna be it. You have to be selfless. You have to be selfless, and I'm not saying that sometimes it's good to be selfish. Most of the times it's good to be selfish and worry about your family and shit like that. But I feel like the position that we are in as Black Americans, we should have to worry about community. And I know it's easier said than done. I'm not making it seem like it's easy at all, but shit like this will forever happen. Basically saying no matter how much money you make in their game, you will never, ever be secure until, like you said, ownership, right?
Nah, facts, bro. That's the only way, bro. Like, cause like niggas even talk about Joe Rogan. There's a reason why Joe Rogan doesn't get penalized. Cause the same niggas that own the shit that he's working on, you know what I'm saying? They got his back. You
They look
feel
like
me? That's
him,
it.
yeah.
And also we gotta keep it buck. I feel like we could learn a lot from learn to benefit from this as black people. If one of us says something that we don't like as a community, instead of demonizing and going out publicly and saying, "Oh yeah, fuck no," how about you just don't speak on it? Because
Exactly. At the very
that's what
least.
they do. That's
At
what
the
they do.
very
They
least.
like David Stern. If David Stern does something, you know how many billionaires and millionaires didn't say shit about it because they probably. I'm not saying that they agree with him, but they don't want their name attached to this because they know how shit works. They know that he's a part of this community that we're in. So even if Kanye says some dumb shit and I don't agree with it, you know what I do? I don't even have social media. I don't. I talk about it amongst people that I know, but I'm not gonna go publicly and be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's horrible." Like he is probably for our community is somebody with a lot of influence and power that he could have led us somewhere if his priorities and values were probably somewhere else. But like you don't have to speak on everything that we see, and we speak on each other so openly and negatively most times, because most times we're not giving each other our flowers. Most times we're reprimanding somebody else in our, in our community as a black person, whether it's, black men versus black women, or, uh black straight people versus, LGBTQ community, black people, like shit, we're always going against each other. So how about we just stop speaking on each other so fucking negatively, and, do like the
Facts.
other groups of people do? Because, like, fuck, bro, like, nobody's gonna get us out of this situation but us, and we just keep
Seriously.
pushing each other further and further down, and that shit is just like, for me, that shit is just annoying. And I know that, the older generation of black people, like our grandparents and the people before them, are just like, what the fuck? I feel like they're like, what the fuck are we doing? Because we're not doing none of this shit that they, built up to where we're even able to have the few rights that we do have nowadays. Like, we're not doing none of that shit, and it kind of
Facts.
going backwards, in my opinion. So
It's
it's like,
like,
shit.
and then they just throw the internet in front of us. They throw, oh yeah, you can go get this iPad, you can go get this Hellcat, you can go get whatever, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They throw these luxuries in front of us to make it seem like that we
Mm-hmm.
have a choice, but whenever it comes down to real choice, you know what I'm saying? We got what, only two political parties, you know what I'm saying, to vote for them. All black people gonna vote Democrat. That's not even a real choice. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And nowadays, that's not even like
You vote
solidified.
different.
Oh,
You
they
vote
give a
different.
fuck.
You vote different. They gonna vilify you, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. You know
Seriously.
what I'm saying? Like it's only two schools of thoughts or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You either this or either this or that. You know what I'm saying? They trick you with choices by masking them with luxuries, by masking them with entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And what they do is they show us just enough. They show us just enough of us like, okay, they're in them spaces. We'll see niggas like Drake. We'll see niggas like, well, Kanye pre this. You know what I'm saying? We'll see niggas like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, okay, it's enough that if you do these things, you work this route, you can get there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Everybody talking about dinner with Jay-Z. You wanna know how Jay-Z made his fucking millions? Talking about selling crack. They'll make a millionaire out of a nigga selling crack, but they won't make a millionaire out of a nigga selling fucking herbs or some shit like that, or speaking positively or some shit like that. Or if you do something positive, right? It got to be for all. It just can't be for us, and that's the problem.
Right.
They'll let enough of you get through to make it look like an attainable goal if you fall in
Mm-hmm.
line. But look, but they're showing you what happens the minute that you step out of line. No matter how far you get up, it's always a glass ceiling. It's always a glass ceiling. And one person is not gonna be able to break that glass ceiling. That's why we need a sense of fucking community. And
Right.
it's going to take a sacrifice. It took
And
sacrifices for the niggas that was. Remember whenever we was in history class, Austin? Shout out to Professor Patterson at Morehouse.
facts.
He posed a great question. He said we was talking about slavery. He said, "What would you do? Would you knowing what you know?
Would you jump out the boat?
Would you jump off the boat or would you stay on the boat?" And
And
that
when
had the
when we
whole
say
class
boat, when we
divided.
say boat, we're referring to,
The
the
slave
boats that
ships that
they,
the white
slave
people had
ships that
brought
they
our
took.
people
Yes.
over here on. He said, "What would you do?" And a lot of niggas were so quick to say, "Getting off, getting off the boat. I ain't about to be no slave. I'm getting off the boat." Guess what? We just want to go get more slaves. Now your family's dead. Your heritage is
Exactly. Like,
dead.
if
Your
in
bloodline is
exactly,
over.
you wouldn't have
You
been
don't
here.
exist anymore.
Right.
They sacrificed that. They took
So it's
that. They was
easy to
like,
say
okay,
that.
we gonna stick together. They was like, okay, we gonna stick together and find a way out of this. And it took time, and it did. And as time progressed, the black advancement started to become less and less as community got less and less in terms of things that we built, technologies, companies, and shit like that. Like all that shit became smaller and smaller and smaller as we became less of I don't want to say segregated, but it became less all black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna forever be the case because it's
Yeah.
like my
I mean,
nigga, like
that's
we can't even speak. Like we're literally saying that we can't even speak right now.
seriously. We're
What were you saying,
under.
Nando?
Oh, I was just gonna like kind of add to that point. Like we're under. It's weird. because the most disenfranchised people are under a microscope, and it's like the most police people we go and police ourselves. Like I just think that shit is like really crazy.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
it's like
that's
we
crazy.
perpetuate the standards that they put on us, and we'll just let the shit keep rocking because we love glamour. I want to kind of get into that. I feel like as black people, what's stopping us from achieving shit is our love for glamorous things. Sacrifice isn't glamorous. You can't wear that Birkin if you're fucking actually making the stance for something. Sorry, not sorry. So like, I just feel like a lot of people, they would rather be socialites and they'll rather be, get ahead. They rather get ahead than actually do something that can help, like our children and our grandchildren get ahead. Like I feel like that level of community is over, and especially since we've been scattered, like our communities are dying. Like bro, like I really feel like as a black professional, I've been excommunicated from my community just having to move out to a city to make money. Like it's hard. It's hard out here for us, and I feel like this is a time where more than ever we need to stick together. And to stick together, we have to say, you know what? Maybe I won't be able to pop champagne, every fucking
Right.
weekend in the section. Maybe I won't be able to. Not even just that. Maybe I won't be able to buy up all that land, or sell them houses. It's about basically being able to just look at the bigger picture. I don't know if we're there yet. We were there before, but I just think that overall we allowed that love for
Material shit.
They
the
gave us a
American
little. They
dream,
gave us a
material
little
shit.
bit. They gave us a
Yeah.
little bit. They was just like, okay, here, because you can't always crack the whip. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Sometimes get a little sweetener.
Yeah, in them Asian POW camps or whatever they're called, like I remember, like I heard that what they did to the people who were in prison there, they didn't treat them bad. They actually treated them decent. They would actually get them to basically go back to their troop members and spew, some of the propaganda that they had. And the way to get them to spew that propaganda is to treat them kindly at first, so you could think like, oh shit,
If I do this, I get
like
a
Yeah, we're the bad
reward.
guys.
Whenever
yeah,
welfare was first introduced, they wouldn't let they had to tell the women, and it was primarily introduced for minority groups, black people, and to live in a project. They said, hey, you can't say that you have a man in the house. You can't have a man in the house. You got to be a single mom. That's how you get it. And what they did, it was like, well, shit, I can't afford this for my kids. I don't know if we'll be able to get this. I don't know if we'll be able to keep jobs. So guess what they did? Fuck it. I live alone. I don't have a man in the house. You know what I'm saying? They'll kick the
mhm,
father out the house. And that's what they did. They give you a sip of, okay, this could be good. And that's how they keep you there. Because it's like, it's hard. It's hard to walk away from something safe. It's like what people say with
Facts.
entrepreneurship all the time. It's hard to walk away from a salary with insurance and benefits, knowing that okay, I get paid 2 days a month. I know where I'm always gonna have money as long
Right.
as I do this, and that's hard to walk away from. And it's the same principle. So you know what? Yeah, Black, you was right. Maybe I was a little harsh on all these people over at ESPN, right? But it's like,
hey,
goddamn,
they
it's just
they
fresh.
they have their paths.
And you
It's
know,
it's
another thing
frustrating,
is
bro. It's just
that I
frustrating.
keep on coming back to, like, why we need that. Like, even like when it comes down to what you were saying, Austin, about like, like, why do niggas denounce each other and shit like that? Like, if I would, like, a lot of people, you gotta understand, this isn't our internet. If you get what I'm saying, like, this isn't our internet. Like, the fucking even like what's acceptable isn't coming necessarily from our train of
Yeah.
thought. If you get what I'm saying. So a lot of niggas, you feel me, like, are kind of subscribing to a thought, like, they like a lot of niggas, you feel me, like, even up until now, like, like, I'm just starting to, whether right or wrong, I'm just starting to see a couple people tweet like, okay, this is kind of crazy, like, that Kyrie, this is happening to Kyrie or whatever. You feel me? Like, I'm just starting to see that because I think it got to a point where it's like, okay, this is like too much. But before that, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, niggas weren't saying right or like this ain't right or this ain't wrong. Like this just literally happened like after he got suspended. You feel me? But I say that to say this, like, you know, sometimes without your own voice being the prevalent voice, you know, you can, for a lack of better words, get brainwashed into thinking, okay, like maybe this
Mhm.
train of thought is the right train of thought. You feel me? So it's like it's it's prevalent, in my opinion, to have your own voice. You know what I'm saying? Like your voice. You feel me? Like
Right.
what is right to you? Because what is right to us could be wrong to them or vice versa. And I don't want to make it I don't want to split it up like that. But what I'm saying is, it's like, you know, you can't have uh you can't have people not denounce people if we don't if they think if they're subscribing to another train of thought. You feel me? That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
So
and you know, just to touch on that, just to end shit. I mean, and we speak about this all the time, but I feel like, you know, when you said we don't really make what's the norm, people, going back to what you said and Josh said, it's like shit. The norm is comfortable. So if a whole bunch of people are online taking this response or having this response and having this view about things, a lot of people have become, you know, more okay with not having their own point of view on things. As much as they think that they are having their own point of view on things, they are really just spewing what's popular. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and they might have their little spin on it, but as long as it's like a lot of people are saying it, then that's probably the go-to. And I'm not saying that, you know, just because we have our own, I guess, opinions that are different than the norm, that we're right and everybody else is wrong. But I'm saying a lot of people are followers nowadays, and I know all all our parents probably told us at a young age, like, be a leader, not a follower. And I feel like nowadays it's become cool to be a follower as long as you know, are following the people that are saying certain shit.
They literally tell us they
So
will follow us on the screen.
exactly, like
They
no,
it's
tell us
literally
they will
no,
called
follow
it's
us.
literally called followers, bro. It's literally called a follower, and you know, and you get more popularity and shit based off of, you know, the amount of followers and who you follow and all. It's just a lot of kind of crazy parallels, but yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Lando.
But I think we
Oh,
we had our
yeah,
rant
yeah.
cast for the day.
We got off because, boy, that,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole situation is just something that seems to be too common. It's too common and it needs to change. And we have to be the change that we want to make as a community. That's the only way it's going to happen. A change,
Yeah,
we might not even see the change that we want to see, but it's about, I guess, a selflessness of wanting to allow others to see that change.
Yeah.
Until we're able to sacrifice, we're just going to keep talking about the goddamn woes of black people not being able to be free.
yeah,
What?
hey man, I really said all that for real. Like I just think we just need to, you know, get our own. We gotta work to get our own. No matter how long it takes, that's what we gotta do. Work to get our own, so we can give ourselves the opportunity to have a voice. And if we still don't have a voice after that, that's on us right now. But like
yeah.
right
Yeah.
now, you know what I'm saying? Like we just gotta work to get a voice, like a actual voice, not the fabricated voice that they make us believe that we have.
Exactly.
A real voice that isn't backed by a bigger voice, like, or their voice. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
our own voices, but it takes a lot of change. You know what I'm saying? A lot of change, a lot of black millionaires, billionaires to invest in black voices and shit like that. So we got
Nah.
some work to do. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, for sure,
Shit,
man.
too.
And
And
that's
that's another
oh
thing
yeah,
too,
good.
though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to close out, but then I'm just thinking, it's like,
Hey,
you know,
keep
you
it
gotta
going,
build
brother.
your
We
you
speaking
you
truth this
gotta you
podcast.
gotta build your voice. You feel me? But then it's like, I was watching this video yesterday, and this black woman, she had it's a movie. She had a fucking a salon. She got a salon because the only way she was able to get the salon is because this white politician basically paid for the salon just so she could influence how they voted for him. You feel me? And that's a lot of things too. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, for there to be real change, we need black, what's it called, venture capitalists, or black people investing that
Like
care
this.
about, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, okay, yeah, we can have our own platforms, but if they funded by niggas that don't really give a fuck, or, you know what I'm saying, I'm not giving it a race or a name or whatever the case may be, but if they're funded by people that still don't stand on what they believe at any point in time, that shit will be taken away from you too. You feel me? And you gotta go with the side that's giving you what you have for real. So it's like, yeah, we need our voices, but we also need, you know, we also need people that are investing in our voices. You feel me? Like, it's just a lot that we gotta work on and fundamentally change to get to that point. You feel me? So I mean, I guess it's a lot of, it's positive in that. Like, if you're not the person that want to have a voice, you feel me? You can be the person that invests in somebody else's voice, or vice versa. You feel me? It's a lot of ways that we can attack it, and a lot of ways that we gotta attack it. But until they're attacked, divide and conquer, you know, and we want to continue to see this shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just that's
Facts.
all. That's my rant.
I'm glad you use voice because that's essentially what we want to do with this platform, this podcast, and eventually this network of just, giving people a voice, man. And all different types of black people. We aren't just, one size fits all. You know, we spoke on the community as a whole, and that's for every black person. That isn't just for the black person that's in the hood. It isn't just for the black person that like rap. That isn't just for the black athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we talked about Kyrie, but we're talking about all black people who feel like your voice changed. The black dude in corporate America. We're all in corporate America, and it's ways that we even feel how to maneuver. I don't know about y'all, but it's times that I just feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Absolutely.
Because it's shit that I gotta maneuver. I gotta maneuver around, and it's like it's hard to not look at every little thing. It's just kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And so that's what we're trying to do, man. I appreciate all of y'all for y'all giving y'all thoughts on this. I know we normally a fun podcast and occasionally we get into serious shit, but honestly, just PSA, we're gonna break off separate episodes to where you're finally gonna start seeing our faces, where we're gonna break into serious topics and get into more discussions and things like this, separately from the stream. Of course, we're still gonna have a stream where we're gonna talk about fun stuff. We didn't even get to Drake's album yet. Sidebar: Serena, your husband's a groupie, and so like we're still gonna have that, but at the same time, conversations like this are important, because we don't know who might hear this, who might have heard this individual. It might be even a non-black person that heard this, you know what I'm saying? And we're not saying it, we don't fuck with nobody, but we're saying that, like, hey, this is just a reality check of whether you're black and don't see it, whether you're non-black and you just don't understand. This is the reality check of what black people have to go through, black Americans have to go through, you know what I'm saying? And what we're trying to do is just not only create a voice, but inspire. It might look at you, you might look at yourself and be like, damn, maybe I do want to go work for my black friend right now, or maybe I'm gonna support my black friend's business a little more. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not gonna buy that Gucci belt. I'm gonna go buy my homeboy Earl. You know what I'm saying? He make custom belts. He do airbrush t-shirts in the mall, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different, I guess, avenues and things that we can attack it from. But Black was spot on. We do need ownership, and with that ownership, there is going to be a level of sacrifice. And Lando was saying that we need to get back that sense of community, because without it, we're never going to have that. We get too far into luxury, man. So you know what I'm saying? And what Austin was saying, man, you gotta, they're programming us to think a certain way, man. Not only think about each other, think about our spending habits, our emotions, and things like that, man. I encourage, I ain't gonna lie, all black people start transition off of Twitter. Unless you making direct money from it, get that shit off Twitter, man. They gonna call you a nigger on there. Get off of Twitter. Um,
I really don't think we can say that word on Twitch.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I
boy, this
highly
shit
doubt
might
it.
get taken down.
Damn.
But it's not gonna take it down. I'm gonna save it real quick. But you know what I'm saying? Just man, go out there and really invest in yourself, man. Really invest in your community. Make that sacrifice and try to come together, man. Because they're showing us that they're gonna come together whenever one of them is threatened. And so for us to get that power, we got to do that, man. And it just small changes. Like Lando said, we might not be there to see the change, but we can definitely lay the groundwork, groundwork, whatever. you know,
One of them.
Go invest in that black business, and if something goes wrong or if you don't like the customer service, you don't have to post about it. I hate seeing that. We don't need to know about
Mhm.
your bad experience. You know what I'm saying? If you have a good experience, repost it. If you have a bad experience,
Mhm.
just take the L on that one. Give some positive feedback. You feel me? And you don't have to denounce other black people, man. Don't speak on it. Even if you disagree, don't speak on it. Don't let nobody else talk about your brother or your sister. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about them. Don't let nobody else do it. But
Exactly. And
that's how.
if you didn't notice, that's the reason why, if you look on YouTube, that's the reason why they only show you the amount of likes that are on the video and not the amount of dislikes from like the thumbs up, thumbs down shit. It's because they know that negative shit sways more people than positive shit. So if are online saying negative shit about a certain, your brother as a not brother like related, but like
Yeah.
black brother, black sister, whatever, or just anybody in your community, whatever community you fall in, that's going to have more weight, and people are going to go towards that more so than the positive, because that's just how the world operates. So realize the power that you have. We don't have the amount of power that some people have with their choice of words and with their actions, but we do have some power as far as what we can and can't do, or what we can make our community look like based on what we say about it and
Hey man.
how we talk towards each other.
Hey man, it's a reason that they want to keep us separated. We're supposed to be the most disenfranchised community. It's a reason that they want to keep us separated because they understand that our power and the power that we can have whenever we come together, man. But this has
Hmm.
been an NIT podcast. Speaking of liking YouTube videos, check us out on YouTube at NIT Pod TV. Go like that. Twitch, Sir Corleone 211, and we are going to be uploading our new discussion videos. We're going to find a time during the week. I'm going to make an announcement probably on my Instagram at JB underscore Corleone underscore. And yeah, um, y'all have a blessed day. Stay black, stay proud. We out.